So today's video is going to be a prom makeup tutorial using all drugstore products, which is so exciting because you really don't need to spend a ton of money on the products itself for your prom, as well as, you know, other dances and stuff, which this makeup look can totally work for homecoming and different things like that. And you also don't need to spend a ton of money having someone else do your makeup if you just practice, and, you know, I think it's just best to do your own makeup if you're able to. I did for my prom, and I've also done a ton of other people's for their prom, and that's why I wanted to do this video, because I used a lot of the products that I use on myself and other people for special occasions. Really don't know how I feel about this hair, but kept my face really like open for this video, so we gonna go with it. I kept the look fairly neutral, so you can pretty much wear whatever dress you want, as well as change up the lip color, because I think that's really important. And I do want to do another prom makeup tutorial, but with like a pop of color and stuff, so give this video a thumbs up if you'd like to see more prom videos. And yeah, I'm really excited because I really like the way this turned out, and yeah, okay, enough rambling. Let's get started. Start off with applying a chapstick just to prepare your lips for what is to come later on, and I'm going to be applying the NYX eyeshadow base, and this is number 2, White Pearl. If you're not looking to get a really sparkly base, NYX does have some, like, you know, plain ones. I know they have like a skin tone one, and they do have just a regular white one, so you don't have to get the sparkly one if you don't want to. Once that's all applied, I'm moving into my NYX Dreamcatcher palette here, and this is a really good like neutral palette, but I'm going to be taking this white color. This is a matte white, and this is going to be my brow bone highlight. So I always start off with this color just to make it easier to blend in with my crease color later. And to give the lid a little bit of a base, I'm using this color in the corner here. This is just a, like, I don't know, light natural color. I'm just going to be sweeping that on the lid. I'm going to be putting a color over top of this anyway, so this is kind of just to set tone. Now I'm going to take this color here. This is just a matte, I don't know, taupey color. It's more on the brown side versus taupe, but I'm going to be using this as my transition color, so I'm just applying that into my crease. Now I'm going to take the darker taupe color. This is another matte color. Looks kind of like blue on here, but it's not blue, it's like a dark gray. I'm just going to be loading up my brush with that and tapping it off, and then I'm going to do the same like spots that I put that previous color, because this is our crease color. And I'm kind of like slowly building it up. You don't need to like put a ton of it on and then have it harder to blend out. I kind of apply a little bit at a time and keep blending. And then every once in a while I'll go in with a big fluffy blending brush and just kind of blend that out, because you don't want any harsh lines. So I like to do this once I have a substantial amount of color. I kind of just repeat that until I get it as dark as I desire. And then taking a fairly thick pencil brush here, I'm going to be using the same color, but I'm also going to dip it like one dab into the matte black color here at the end, just to add a little bit of definition to the outer corner here. And I'm kind of just like sweeping it in. Now that the creases are somewhat matching in, I'm going back in with my white color and, you know, redefining the brow bone here, kind of sweeping that along. And then for the lid, I'm using my CoverGirl Shimmering Sands Trio, and I'm using the lightest color here, and I'm just taking it on a very small little like flat shader brush, and I'm kind of loading up my brush, and then I'm going to be just kind of packing that onto the lid, just the lid part, not touching the crease at all, because I really want the lid to be the only thing that's really, really like, I don't know, light and shimmery, and I'm kind of just like sweeping that into the crease color. You can also use this color as your inner corner highlight, just to give it a little bit of pop, not too much, and obviously we're not wearing foundation, so there's going to be a little bit of fallout, but that's why you do your eyes first and then you move on to foundation. And then to add a little bit of sparkle, I'm using the NYX Roll On Shimmer. This is just a silver one. I'm taking this on a really small little flat shader brush, like really small, and I'm just kind of like tapping it on the roller ball, and I'm going to just lightly place that onto the lid. Now is the time that I will apply my false eyelashes, and I always end up cutting mine just because they end up being too long, and I'd rather have it a little bit shorter than my eye than too long. So go ahead and take them. I'm using these ones from Kiss. They're really, really pretty, and they're the perfect length for prom, I think. They're not too dramatic, but they're also not like your natural lashes. So it still looks like you're really glam, but you know, you can not go crazy. And for eyelash glue, I always use the Duo brush on adhesive. This is the best stuff ever. I hate squeezy tubes. You always want to sit a couple minutes just to get it to be tacky. Maybe not minutes, but like a few seconds. And then go ahead and apply them. So once you know your eyelash glue has dried, go ahead and the next thing I like to do is eyeliner. This one is from Annabelle. This is the eye ink eyeliner. It's waterproof, so this is a really good option if you want something that's really long wearing, and it has a very nice fine tip that's easy to create winged liner. So I'm just going to line my lashes very thinly and then add a wing. Now I'm just taking a eyeliner brush and dipping it in the black matte shadow from the palette, and this is basically just going to prolong the eyeliner and make it matte. Next, go ahead and curl your lashes and apply mascara. I'm using the L'Oreal Telescopic Mascara because this has a very thin brush, and I think this is really good for false eyelashes. You can really get under and it separates very nicely. So that is the completed eyes for the most part, so I'm going to now move into the face makeup. Starting off with the face, you want to make sure you apply a primer. This one is from Maybelline. They have a wide range of different ones. I would stay away from the illuminating ones just because in pictures that could come off as shiny and stuff, so I'm going to be using the blur and redness control just to, as you can see, my nose is a little bit red, but I'm basically just going to be applying that all over my face so the makeup stays all night through dancing and sweating and having a good old time. For foundation, I'm going to be using the Revlon Color Stay. This is a 24-hour foundation. This is in 150 Buff, and this is for normal to dry skin, which I have. I really do recommend this one just because I've used it a ton. I've used it on so many people for their proms as well because it's affordable and it works really well. Another good one is the Maybelline Fit Me foundation. This is the matte and poreless one, but figured I'd go ahead and use something that I, would recommend to people buy for their prom day. I'm just pouring that onto the back of my hand and using a damp beauty blender. It comes in a lot of different colors, and especially if you're self-tanning for prom, make sure you get your self-tanning shade because I feel like some people forget to do that. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe that's just me. And make sure you go and blend down your neck so, it matches. Once I have one initial layer done, I always like to go back in with a little bit more and do my chin again, as well as around my eyes with the other side of the beauty blender. So I take the little tip of it and I just do my under eyes, even though we will apply concealer. This just is a really good base. And you can also cut crease your eyeshadow while you're doing this. Next, I'm moving on to concealer. You can use whatever concealer you want. I do recommend something a little bit higher coverage, but I'm just using this Maybelline Fit Me because I like the applicator, and I'm going to be applying that to my under eyes as well as any little spots I have and around my nose because that tends to get a little bit red. Go ahead and just blend that in as well. Again, you can use your finger or you can use a brush or a beauty blender. Once you have all of your face makeup done, go ahead and set your makeup. They have lots of different translucent powder options at the drugstore. I do recommend the Rimmel Stay Matte just because it's the cheapest and works the best. But if you were looking for something HD, again, Revlon has something, and I'm just kind of, sweeping that all over my face because you don't want to be shiny in those pictures. Now moving on to the dreaded eyebrows. I personally have not found very many good drugstore products for brows, but for the sake of the video, I'm going to be using this one, which is probably the best drugstore option I've found. This is the Maybelline Brow Precise, and so it just comes with a little pencil, so I'm just going to fill them in with the pencil and then set them with the Maybelline Brow Drama, which is the setting gel for them. Now, like I mentioned before, we're not completely done with the eyes because I want to go in with a little bit of a shadow, and so I'm going to be taking this type of brush. It's another little flat shader, and taking the same dark taupey color and kind of just lining my lower lash line just to, complete the look, but it adds a little bit of a smoky look to it, but it's not, again, too intense. Now moving into bronzer, I'm using the NYC Smooth Skin Sunny Bronzer. This is just a really good matte one. Make sure you stay matte so it looks good in pictures. I'm taking it on a little domed brush like this, and I'm going to just lightly contour. Yeah. And when you're doing this, you basically just want to keep sweeping up to blend it in. I'm also going to be applying the bronzer up here around my hairline. It totally kind of depends on what hairstyle you're wearing, but since you can see my forehead, I'm going to just bronze that up. And make sure you kind of blend that bronzer down your neck. Moving on to blush, I'm using a light coral color. This one is from e.l.f. I think it's called Candid Coral. This is just a really pretty natural blush color. Works well with my skin tone, so really any blush will do. Now I'm just going in with a highlighter. This one is from Essence, and this is called the Bloom Me Up highlighter. Taking the same brush we used the bronzer on, but wiping it off first, getting a little bit of that, and kind of just sweeping that along my upper cheekbone, basically, to give me some nice shimmer. And before we do lips, I like to set my makeup, and this setting spray is from L'Oreal. Thank God the drugstore came out with a setting spray. This one works really well, so go ahead and just spray your face to lock all of your makeup in. Moving on to lips, I'm going to first line my lips with the NYX Retractable Lip Liner. This one is in Nude. This is like the same color as my lips. For lipstick, I am now going in with Ravishing Rose. This is from the Maybelline Mattes collection. It's just a nice pink color. Obviously, you're going to want to maybe choose something that goes with your dress, or if you are keeping it neutral, go with like Nude, but nudes look kind of silly on me, so I'm going with a pink color. And then to add a little bit of shine and to make my lips look fuller, I'm going in with the Maybelline Elixir, and this one is just a nude color. I'm going to apply that just a little bit to the center. This also helps make my lips not look as dry, so yeah, there you go. So this is the completed Drugstore Prom makeup look. I hope you guys enjoyed it and got a little bit inspired. And like I said, this look doesn't have to be just for prom. You can use this for like homecoming or other special occasions that you want, because it is fairly neutral and you can really, you know, wear whatever you want with it, which I think is really awesome. And yeah, if you like these types of videos, please give it a thumbs up so I know to do more in the future, and I will see you in my next video. Love you all. Bye!